Good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. For those of you who have met me, my name is Ryan Davidson, course manager for the OnRamps rhetoric team. I'm joined by two of our amazing writing consultants, Kirsten and Madison, who have created this research presentation and are here to answer any questions you guys might have. So I'm going to take you through, as they're going through this, if you guys think of any questions about the research process, about any specifics that you'd like them to address at the end, just let us know and we can go through it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass over to, I believe Madison is going to start us off.
Yeah, so my name is Madison, and I'll let Kirsten introduce herself in a moment. But we are both writing consultants for your rhetoric class. So hop in the Zoom and see us anytime. We're here to help you. We're both graduate students at UT Austin. We're both studying library science. Kirsten's going to graduate in the spring. I'll graduate next year. But yeah, we put together this presentation just of resources that we've compiled that we think will be useful to you. Kirsten?
Yeah, I'm Kirsten. There's not much more to know about me that hasn't already been said. Madison and I are both really excited and honored to be able to talk to your class and point you towards some direction for your research that you all have access to because of OnRamps. I'm going to share my screen so that you all can have a visual for presentation. It's not just us talking to you. So you should be able to see it now, and I'll let Madison take it away.
Okay, yeah. So we're just going to talk to you about some UT library resources that are available to you that we think will be helpful to you. Yes, this is us. Okay. So we're going to start by showing you the UT library homepage, and then we're going to kind of touch on some resources through that, and then we'll just talk about writing consultations at the very end.
Yeah, so this is going to be our kind of like landing page, if you will. So the link at the bottom is the UT Libraries URL. So I have this bookmarked and I go to this pretty much every day. And even if I wasn't a library science student or I wasn't an OnRamps consultant, I would still probably visit the library's site very, very frequently. There's a lot of good resources.
We're just first going to take you through one of the tabs we think will be very useful to you, which is the articles, articles and more tab. So you'll click on it and it'll show you this screen in a moment. Yes. And so you'll want to search through the articles when you're looking for peer-reviewed or scholarly articles. That's what you're going to get when you search this articles tab. And so this is what happens when you click on that tab, and we're going to show you how to advanced search. It'll give you more relevant answers. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to filter this. Quick crash course on keyword searching. So you see how we have any field contains the words affordable housing. Those are in quotation marks because we want the phrase affordable housing. We don't want the words affordable and housing just randomly. Putting that in quotes, we'll search for the phrase affordable housing together. And then you can add new lines and toggle these and or tabs. So for example, the first and second line will search for articles containing affordable housing and HUD. And then with the third line adding the or, this will populate results for affordable housing and HUD or affordable housing and students. So those are the results you're going to get when you use this and or tab. And something else you can do is you can filter these articles by date of publication, because I know you need an article published fairly recently. So you can change the date that you want to see these articles. And then once you search, you're still going to get 6 million results. This tab on the left side of the screen is going to show you how to filter by resource type. So you can click on it. See, articles is the second tab under resource type. But you can also filter for things like newsletter articles, magazine articles, reports, and reviews. Whatever you're kind of looking for, you can search for those specifically. And so, for example, we're just going to click on the very first resource that popped up. And this is what it will look like when you click on that link. And so by signing in with your UT EID and then clicking that link for full text availability, that will take you to another tab where you can read the entire text. In this case, it's a book, but it will be the exact same for any article that you click on.
Another resource that the library has is Google Scholar. So most of you are probably familiar or more familiar with Google Scholar. I know that this is what I used when I was in high school researching. So when you click on it, you have maybe a familiar interface, but the way that you can also do advanced search, like Madison was just talking about, is in the hamburger menu on the top left, which is the 3 horizontal lines. When you click that, you'll then be able to see where you can access the advanced search. Now, it looks a little bit different than the library's searching, but you can still do the same things. So in the box next to with exact phrase, you can put affordable housing in this case. You don't have to put the quotes around it because it's telling you it will search for that exact phrase. And then to do the and searching, you'll go to the with at least one of these words. So by putting the other topics that you're interested in finding, it's going to search for affordable housing and HUD. But because there's not a place to filter for or, you have to type that in yourself. But you want to make sure, for whatever reason, it likes it to be in all caps. So you'll type or in all caps, and then whatever other topic you're interested in. And you can do more than just 2 topics. You can do HUD or students or Texas or apartments, whatever, for example, you'd be interested in. And then down at the bottom is where you can filter for the dates. When you finish doing whatever you want with your specialized searching, this is kind of what you'll see, right? So there's only about 22,000 or there's 22,500 results, which is considerably less than the 6 million that UT Libraries has. But you might have some issues getting access through Google Scholar, so you want to just keep UT Libraries tucked in the back of your mind. When you click on an article, for example, that first one is affordable housing, a pro-poor policy. You'll see that you can read the full text there at the bottom, but when you click on it, what happens is you're prompted to log in with your institution, you log in with your Wiley account, which is the publisher of this article, or pay anywhere from $10 to $42. You likely won't be able to log in through your institution, and you don't have a Wiley account, and we don't want you to make one, and we definitely don't want you to pay for one. So what you'll do is copy the article's title, go back to the library, UT Libraries webpage, and in that search or in that article searching box that Madison was showing us, you'll search the title. And here you can see that we have access to this article, and you don't have to pay $42 to download it and read it, which is really great. Now, kind of moving aside from how to search, we want to also talk about the other really great resources the library has specifically for OnRamps students. So in this research guides, which is essentially just like how-tos or helpful links that the librarians at UT have put together. When you search for OnRamps, this is what the page looks like. But when you search for OnRamps at the top, there are dedicated OnRamps research guides. You can use any of the other 500 guides too, but specifically for rhetoric, there's one. And when you go into it, it will basically have everything that we've talked about and more, a lot more. So you don't have to, memorize what we've covered very quickly. So if you need help finding scholarly articles, you need more help finding them, or you're not sure how to develop your topic or cite your sources, you can go to this research guide and it will all be there for you.
Okay, so another tab that we think you need to know about will be the Cite Your Sources tab. And so when you click on it, it'll bring you to this page. And essentially, this page can help you generate your citations. It has handbooks for specific style guides, managing your citations, implementing in-text citations. And something else that is also important is avoiding plagiarism. It's very easy to accidentally plagiarize something. So that's why it's very important to manage and cite your sources correctly. And you've got like a crash course here on how to do that. Okay, and yeah, lastly, these are just our usual weekly hours for writing consultations. There's quite a few of us that cycle in and out. You can find a link on your Canvas page. Yeah, we are always more than happy to discuss anything in this presentation with you. Any other questions that you may have. Yeah, our job is to be there to help you. So don't hesitate to come in and talk to us.
A lot of information was just thrown at you, so let it sink in. We can start with the first one. So what is the best way to research using the UT database? I think what Madison was showing about keyword searching is really the best way to use it. So the UT catalog does not search in the same way that Google searches. So if you just typed in affordable housing, you would just have so much information shown. And so using the keywords to specify that search, what you're actually interested in within, let's say affordable housing, is truly the best way to use the catalog.
I will also add that because these search engines are very specific, it's important to explore, like you're going to need to do a little bit of trial and error when researching certain topics. You know, affordable housing might give you a lot of results, but maybe the article you're looking for uses the phrase subsidized housing. So just think about that when you're also searching for different articles, that you can try different keywords and see what populates and see what is most relevant to you.
Yeah. I always think of researching as a puzzle. There's the end goal, of course, of finding that article that really helps further your understanding, but you just have to get there. So by trying different things, running into roadblocks is totally normal. We're just like, okay, this is not what I was looking for. That happens to everybody. So just, take a breath, collect yourself again, try to search in a different way is very, very normal to do. Okay, so the second question is, what is the best way to utilize writing consultations? That's a really great question because every consultation is different. It's okay if you're not really sure what specifically you need help with. If you just know that you're struggling with synthesis, for example, you can come to the consultation and say, I'm struggling with synthesis, and this is what I have, or this is what I'm thinking about, but I'm not sure if I'm on the right track, or am I thinking about it correctly? Having a broad question is definitely okay. Consultants like me and Madison, it's our job to help you, and part of doing that is engaging with you. So asking follow-up questions so that we can together get to where you need to be, or at least get you to a place where you know what else to do or where to go. Definitely don't come to the consultation being like, I'm here, tell me what to do, because that is probably not best use of time. If you come in with that general, like, I kind of need help in this area, or I'm just struggling, that helps us help you better.
We can also, I will say, we can help you with brainstorming ideas. So I know a lot of you sometimes get stuck in the, I don't know where to start. That's okay. We won't do your work for you, but we can help you brainstorm.
So you would come into that consultation with, this is my topic, but I'm not sure what to talk about, or like how to talk about it. And then we'd be able to brainstorm that, but we can't choose your topic for you. How do students interpret their feedback, make revisions, like substantial revisions?
Sure. I mean, the thing about writing is that it is subjective. You can come to us with your revision goals and we can kind of help you because we aren't the ones who gave you your revision goals. We won't know what the exact thought process of the grader while reading those goals, but we can help you interpret those goals and kind of put you on the right track to see what we think that they were thinking, if that makes sense.
I will tell you all what I tell students in my consultations when they have this same situation. I believe that a substantial revision is one that it shows that there have been more than just like adding a word here and there. That's not substantial, but rather it's an opportunity. Basically, when you've done the assignment exactly how it was intended, or you just achieved really well or really highly in the beginning. I always say, like, how else can you think about the topic? What else can you add? Is there another way to think about this angle that you've taken? And those are the consultations where I will read, or we will read the paper more closely to ask those thinking questions so that there can be additions made. Or in these consultations, sometimes students will say, oh, I just thought of a better way of talking about whatever. I'm going to change it for my next revision because this is actually stronger than what I already had. So that's kind of how I handle those situations. A good place to start is always to look at the other sources that you have found and see what they reference as being important. That is a great starting place. I always tell students who are maybe struggling to find sources that they can look and use the references or works cited that the author of their article used, because the author of their article used them. They are credible sources too, likely. There are more consultants than me in Madison. I can't think of the number off the top of my head.
We have 13 total, and we do try to staff more during the day because that's when a lot of our students go. But we have at least one or two people there to start the day on most mornings at 8 o'clock. And then we got at least that same amount going at the end of the day, going all the way till 6. So if your school day ends at 4, come right after that. If you come at 5:59, that's probably not a great idea. But besides that, yeah, we'll be open till 6, and a lot of times we have 2 or 3 people in there. So
Thank you so
you guys
much.
very much. Have a great
Thank
Friday. Have a
you.
great weekend. And thank you for having
Likewise.
us. Good luck
Thank
on
you
your
again.
revisions.